What's up, guys? Kaius here, and it's been a bit since I made a video, but we're going to kind of show what I've been playing in D4. So today's video is going to kind of like just talk about my experience on the character and what I've been doing and where I am at the moment. Um, so to start, I picked a rogue. That was the class I enjoyed in the beta. I'm pretty much playing the same build I played on the beta, to a degree, with a couple minor changes we'll go over. And overall, I've been enjoying it. I've been having a fun time playing the game. I've been playing it at a pretty moderate pace. I haven't been hitting it too hard because I just wanted to enjoy the game. And there's still a lot for me to do. I'm 71, and I've been playing with a lot of friends. Winning with no spoilers, no guides, did everything on my own. So this is going to be all what I see. I don't know if it's optimal. I don't know if it's good, but it feels like it's good to me at the moment. So I'm going to just show what I got going on here. So we're playing a bow rogue, and the skill we're pretty much focusing around is penetrating shot. And this is just a big attack, one shot that goes through an enemy. It'll hit it and go through all enemies in its path and deal damage to all of them. And the idea is we run a legendary with it that makes it split, and we use shadow power to explode the whole screen. So, in essence, I'll first go over the skills to show what we got, and then we'll go over what I've done in Paragon and where I'm going with it. So, for our generator, we use Puncture. Puncture is just, it shoots 3 blades out like so, and if you hit an enemy with multiple blades, they become vulnerable. So it's a guaranteed vulnerable, and it has some like energy stuff on it, I believe, too. Yeah, so if they're crowd controlled, you'll get some additional energy back. It's whatever. You just put 1 point into it just to get your generator going, like other builds. We then get penetrating shot, and we link up to the increased crit chance if it hits at least 3 enemies, which you're going to be doing often, so it'll just give you a higher crit rate. And this is a huge DPS skill. It's pretty much what we try to spam to a degree, and we'll go over how the rogue playstyle happens in a second with this build. We would pick a penetrating shot. On the next tree, we actually don't pick up any major skills here. We just pick up this. I'm using crossbows to get the crit strike damage. You could use a bow, but the base damage is lower. Just the attack speed ends up being higher on bows. But I end up using weapon mastery, scaling it up. And then I put 1 point in concussive and 1 point in trick attacks. And this allows us to knock down dazed enemies, which happens quite often, which we'll go into in a second. On the next tree, we do pick up concealment. And concealment is just a way to... Let me turn down that music. Holy shit, that's loud ambience. There we go. We're going to turn off the in-game sound for a second until we start playing. Dude, that is so loud. Like, out of nowhere. It was so quiet, and then it just said, nope, just going to be loud. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just mute... Actually, you know what? Alt-M. Or Control-M. Control-M mutes the game to get volume, you guys didn't know. So anyway, going back to our skills. We have concealment. This is just a break out of CC button if you need it. It also gives you back 40 energy, which is very convenient if you really need the energy. And then what's cool is if you have your penetrating shot ready to go, it will be a guaranteed crit. You could also go for guaranteed vulnerability, but we already have multiple ways to scale that. We then do poison trap. This is to help with boss DPS. It also controls some of the elites because you start to run like 6 to 7 at a time. So poison trap, what's cool is, yeah, it will knock down enemies, and this will make it so we have a chance to reset our imbuement cooldowns. I went over that compared to them taking extra damage when standing in the trap. I just thought resetting the imbuement is cool since that's where most of our damage comes from. We also do pick up exploit and malice. These are just extra damage at certain states of health, which you're gonna be dealing usually healthy right away with your first hit. And then in my experience, unless it's like an actual boss, I usually get them to injure almost one of the first or second shots. We then have shadow power. You could go poison. Poison is definitely going to be more single target DPS, but shadow does plenty, and this helps initiate the clear, especially on big elite packs. You will probably kill faster with this than this, in my opinion. And we just end up going for the extra non-physical damage, which you're doing a ton of. Don't really need the vulnerable. Again, we have plenty of stages of vulnerable, which we'll go into later. We also have Shadow Crash to have a chance for lucky hit to stun, and then to gain some energy on death. I just took a little bit to that. We also take the crit on imbued skill. I then opted to go for Shadow Clone. Just extra DPS when you need it. It's up quite a bit. Seemed the right thing to do. I like it. You could go Rain of Arrows if you have the imbue neck. It's really your choice. I just tended to lean this way. And then I did pick up Lucky hit chance has a 30% chance, or lucky hit up to 30% chance to gain 8 energy. And Alchemist Fortune, non-physical damage you deal has a 50% increased lucky hit chance. So with this and like combo points, penetrating shot and like a little bit in gear is about a 50% lucky hit chance. So you're gonna see most of your lucky hit procs often. At least I was. And then I decided to go for precision, just straight up the probably the best one for range. Gives you extra crit damage after so much. And yeah, that's pretty much my initial skill tree. And we'll go into gear before we go into Paragon. I'll go over the playstyle. So you could obviously have these pieces that fit, but I went for a helm. Just the big thing was it just has stats. You don't really need resist. Resist don't do much for you in this game, so we just went for some stats. We got our shadow imbuement, and then I ended up going for the lucky hit. When you damage a vulnerable, which enemies are going to be vulnerable all the time in this build, you have a chance to daze, which then triggers into this being able to knock down enemies that are dazed, because you're going to be critting often. So there are times where you'll like poison trap, they'll run into it, they'll trip, you'll start shooting them, and they'll just keep re-tripping over and over and over, and they won't get up. So I like the dazed helmet. I've been having a good time with it, so that's probably going to be what I keep. We then have just chest. Again, stats don't really matter. I haven't really optimized much of this stuff. But the big thing was I went for basic attack damage reduction. So basics, use your basic skill. You're going to be using it often. You'll get some DR. It can get up to 6 seconds, so this is a pretty shit roll. But we end up running this because DR has been very important, especially when I hit World Tier 4. For the gloves, critical strikes with core skills. Increase attack speed by 24. This is great because your core, especially if you're playing the concealment meta, which I'll show how we play the build in a second. I'll do like a run through this dungeon. Your attack speed's often going to be way higher, and we just end up going with this. And then, big thing on the gloves, if you can get, like I got crit chance, which was cool. I got penetrating strike, attack speed. Over that lucky hit chance, I probably would have preferred like increased lucky hit chance instead, but overall I'm pretty happy with the gloves. Pants, critical hits with marksman skills have a chance to give you a free Dark Shroud. This is why you don't have to run Dark Shroud, which I would normally run over Concealment. But you don't need to run it because you're getting it on crit to a degree. So I usually have these up semi-reliable, and it allows me to just take Concealment and not have to spec into it. So it's almost like a free skill. So we end up running that, which is pretty good, and you can get up to a 50%. The boots, it's nice. It's an extra CC break, which is good. I don't know if I'm going to keep those boots long term, and obviously these boots suck. They have movement speed and dex, which is nice, but the resist are completely unneeded because they don't actually do as much as you think they do. And I'm not going to go. Probably going to go ahead and swap these out soon. For a bow, we went crossbow. They come with vulnerable damage implicits, and this one came with high crit damage. I would have loved over the CC effect or to have the like additional vulnerable damage or something along those lines. The lucky hit killing in non-elites is actually kind of cool. And then I just went for the imbuement. I have a low roller. It can go up to 80%. But it just makes your imbuement effects better against vulnerable enemies. And we opted for some vulnerable crit damage gems. I've been running a really shitty neck still from like level 44 because I haven't really looked too much into it, but it just rolled good. It had a bunch of stats I needed, and then it just has the enchantment basic skill increases your next core damage by 9%. So if you do, I think 3 basics, you can get up to like 27, and that's usually what we do. We do about 3 basics, so it's just some extra damage. You can put this wherever to get additional damage on the side projectiles, but this is what makes the build go. So it makes it when your penetrating shot hits, it will split off and hit additional enemies. It's adds to insane clear, and then for stats in the ring, you just want any kind of damage. I found probably 4 damage types that worked on that one, and then this one, same thing, found 4 damage types that worked. And this one makes your skills deal increased damage based on how much primary resource you have. And you're not always gonna get maximum, but it's just a DPS increase. I'm not sure if I'll keep that long term. I probably will, but we'll see. And we also have 2 weapons, which we do socket in the crit damage. You just get whatever you can, maybe some stats on it, some core damage, some vulnerable damage. And we went for basic skill attack speed, which is okay, it makes us get the vulnerable up a little quicker. And then I went for the rain of arrows, which I've been really liking. It's just additional damage going up the whole time, and that's pretty much our skill. Now for skill, Paragon, which we'll go into, I'll kind of just bring up this because it's going to be accurate, and this is what we plan to do with the build so you have an idea. So the idea is I go up here, through the right side, we're picking up the damage and life. And then here we want to swap, put in Ranger. Ranger just gives you additional damage for each dex in the area, and you pick up everything with dex on it. So this is how I path to get all the dex. And then we go through the left side. We get a second tree, and for the second tree, I end up picking up the Deadly Ambush. So we went for the Deadly Ambush one, and then we could pick up from the left side things that make them take additional damage while trapped. Brings up your trap damage a little bit. We end up going here, and then for this one, you're going to go for everything strength in this area. So everything strength you can get in this area, you can. I do pick up the int just because 7 int seems like value if you're already near it. And this makes it so whenever we damage an enemy for the first time, they're going to be vulnerable for 3 seconds. So when we're getting a full screen hits with penetration shot, you'll at least have to get the first guy vulnerable with your generator, and then you just blow up. Because shadow damage will cause these huge explosions. Yeah, we pick up some more, like, affected by trap stuff. A little bit of trap DR over here so we can get the strength we need for the node. Pick up all the strength nodes in the middle. We then go up to board 3, which for board 3, we went for exploit weakness. This is just additional vulnerable stuff going on. So we do go to the right side to pick up this vulnerable and grab this legendary node. And then from the left here, we do have one that requires int. So again, we'll pick up as much int as we can in the radius. I opted out of these 2 strength if I had the points or if I could tweak it. Because this Paragon board was made very quick. I'm probably going to tweak it as we go, and I have been. If there's a way to get these, I will. But we pick up the int, and then we just get this. This makes our core skills deal increased crit damage, and we're critting a ton. And this also makes it so our core skills are going to regenerate some energy, which is kind of cool. And then we just go up here, too, and pick up some of this damage to elites because it's convenient. I could probably actually cut some of these if I needed, but I think it's good to have. Then board 4, which I haven't got to personally yet. I'm still on board 3. We go for the Eldritch Bounty. This will make it so you get some additional damage and resistance, or resistance whatever, with imbuement skills. And then we're just picking up a bunch of this imbuement and non-physical, which is just great with shadow damage. You're picking this all up on the board. And then for the glyph here, we end up getting another int one, and this makes our non-physical damage higher, and you just pick as much int up as you can in the radius. Trying to think if there's anything else. And then board 5, this one doesn't have a glyph, so we go with 4 glyphs in this build. And this is just some additional damage to healthy enemies, some crit strike, and unfortunately we couldn't make it over here, which would have been nice. But instead of the elite one, maybe I'll go over here on one of the prior trees, we'll see. But then you pick up your ultimate skills, deal 30% increased damage, and you get a damage buff when your ultimate's up, so it just seemed cool to take. And that's pretty much it for Paragon. Nothing too crazy there. Just something I made up on the fly. Don't know if it's efficient. Don't know if it's good. We'll see. Now, how does the build play? So the build plays, you have these combo points. And combo points, as you can see, and do things for the skill. So in the case of Penetrating Shot, if you've done 3 generators on an enemy, you're getting a ton more damage. And you're also getting a lucky hit chance by 30%. So the idea is you go into an enemy, you'll do your 3 hits with your generator, and then you'll have your imbuement on. So I'll go around, have my imbuement ready. I'll go around, do my 3 hits, and then we'll do a penetrating shot with shadow energy, and it should just blow up most of the screen. You can hit your ultimate when it's up. Trap, I can put down right away if I need to, just to control. If I can do it with a big group of mobs is coming, I'll bring them back. We'll trip them with the trap, and then they'll be affected by the trap, take extra damage, and we'll hit. So we're going to kind of show a dungeon now, and just go through, show the build, and I'll try and get this loaded. So let me go ahead and close my thing. Let me put sound back on. And we're going to go ahead and go through. This is World Tier 4. Not a Nightmare Dungeon, just kind of showcasing the build. There we go. Just blow up the screen a little bit. I think I'm still going to turn down the volume a little bit. This is absurdly loud. I don't remember the game being this loud, but maybe it's because I wasn't recording and I wasn't paying attention.
Greetings.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Okay, that's better, dude.
I'm not ready.
And here we gotta find the damage spot, so it might take a little bit longer. The build can take some hits too. It's able to take some hits, which is nice. There's probably only one mob type I didn't want either. I hate Banshees a lot. Banshees are cool rats, dude. I bane. You see, the rate of arrows is proccing quite frequently. I'd like an elite. Just to show off the elite a little bit, too.
Need more time.
There we go. Oh god. Stuff still hurts. That's why I kind of like Diablo 4. There's no just like... Everything hurts, but we just one-shot that elite. Like, this build has some damage on it. I don't know how it's going to be endgame. We don't know if it's going to be good, like that good. I have no idea and I couldn't tell you. But, in theory, it should be. I feel like the class is very mobile, too. But I'm just using skills as I need them. I use concealment a lot if I go into around a corner to a lot of enemies to buy myself a second, get away. It gives you some movement speed. It gives you unbreakable or unstoppable. Oh, I tried saving him. How do you save that guy? This is probably our worst Apex deal with suppress, but see, I'm perma tripping him. I do like that about that. See, like that's just having 1 point in the critical hit on dazed enemy knockdown. That's having 1 point. That's all I've really needed. Could probably respec it to get more and get longer knockdowns, but might do that, might not. One shot that elite. See, this is bad too. Chilling thing is also bad because it makes our projectiles go super slow. I love it, dude. I don't know. Something about it. It's just satisfying. And I said, poison damage, there's nothing wrong with it either. I think it's actually, for single target, you'll do a lot better. And it might be good in ads, but I didn't like it as much. I didn't give it a real shot, though. This is World Tier 4, right? I think it is. I think it is. It has... Yep, it's 4. Okay. It is 4. I'll just tell you, it doesn't feel like it, because I don't feel like I was one-shot. But I was playing in 4-player groups. The damage definitely does feel lower in 4-player groups yesterday. That might be what it was. I've been playing a lot of, like, co-op with, like, friends, so... I've had a lot of people that are actually playing this, so why not?
I'm not ready.
And then ideally, there's a unique dagger. That's why I've been trying to gamble. That makes it so you have a chance to get your combo points with one attack. So you would cut down your attack time and just get more DPS, and then also bring up your damage. I'm trying to get that dagger, and I've probably cut the basic attack speed on skill.
I'm not ready.
Okay, we need them to come around the corner. See, here's a bad one. When there's a lot of elites there, it could be really bad, so I need them to come out of that corner. There we go. Still another one. But yeah, this game likes to pile elites on you too. I do like it. It really tests you how you do in tense situations. Yep. There's like 12 elites from this route. I already killed a bunch. Oh, dude, see, I'm getting frozen with the chilling rain, chilling wind. There we go.
I'm not ready.
Nice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll complete the dungeon and then we'll end the video. I don't want to keep it too long. These videos are already sometimes getting 30 minutes. I just don't have as much time to make them. That's why I haven't been making them as much, guys. It's just a time factor, you know. Time factor really. I've been limited lately on the amount of times to start a new job. But I also kind of put a video on my thoughts of the game. I don't want to get too much into that in this video. What I think about the game, where I think it could go, and the potential it has. I was gonna grab more pedestal. Oh, where do we gotta go? Wait. Oh, it's gotta be this way, right? Okay. I will say, I wish there was a map overlay. I know that's everyone's complaint, but dude, it's so annoying to have to open up the map every time, dude. But that should come quick. I'm not too worried about that. That's something that should come quick. And I don't see why they wouldn't give it to us. I know the game's still loud. Dude, the game is still loud.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm gonna turn it down because I know some people have had trouble hearing me in prior videos. That's why I've taken some down. But all right, dude, it's still loud. Like, I feel like games just nowadays are way too loud. Like, 47% feels like it shouldn't be that loud, but it just is. There we go. Jesus. Well, the music's not even a problem. I don't even think it's the music. It's just the combat sounds. It's all the explosions.
I'm not ready yet.
Turbo tripping that guy. Yeah, see, it's just very nice. I do hate chilling wind, though. Alright, we'll grab this stuff, and I'll adjust the volume after. I'll re-put it back up after. There we go. Should be at the boss, I believe.
Need more time.
But you see, this is a perfect example of the Dark Shrouds. I got 5 up, don't need the skill, really. I'm critting so much to get the lucky hit procs that I have 5 up, so I'm getting the damage reduction from, which is, like, I think overall it's like 25%. Probably less than that, but something around there. But without having to use the skill. Alright, here's the boss.
Need more time.
Dude, I feel like the damage is still good on the boss. Like, I just chunked like half his health with one good hit. Yeah. I feel like it's still good without having to use poison. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's the build. I'll try and keep updates on it, on changes I do or things I do. If you have any questions, just ask. I will be streaming it today, but the issue is this game runs really hot for some reason, even with like good hardware. It's sometimes my stream can't handle it, which is really absurd because this is like a $2,300 computer, and I don't. I think my computer actually has an issue. That's probably what it is, but we'll get into that another day. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll catch you guys later. If you have any requests too, feel free to ask. Take care.